I went from an 18 years old, heartbroken, skinny and ugly ass little boy to becoming a fitness fanatic, to becoming a fitness trainer, to becoming an online nutrition and health coach, to becoming a company owner of an online coaching company here in China at 29 years old, to achieving complete freedom in terms of my time, my schedule, where to work, when to work, and also on top of that, to be able to take that same online coaching company to a 6 figures income within the first 4 months of its creation. And today I'm going to share with you the 11 years journey that I went through and some lessons that you can learn along the way. And I guess the first lesson that we are going to be starting with today, guys, is that 11 years part. Whoever you are, wherever part of the world you're from, or whatever kind of project or plans you have for your future, for your personal development, for your career, anything like that. And if you think at the moment that it is gonna take you 2 years or 3 years to accomplish your goals and to get where you wanna go in terms of whatever, finances, revenue, customer acquisition, anything, then do yourself a service, save you some peace of mind, and add a minimum of 5 extra years to that time estimation that you had. Because as far as I'm concerned, the first time I started, right, because again, it all started with a heartbreak. I was in what I would have considered being my first ever serious relationship, and I thought I was gonna get married. Like I literally thought I was gonna marry that person. But we were both young, shit happens when you're young, and so long story short, it ended up threw me into a depression, and it just got me thinking of ways which would make me get back on track, which would increase my self-esteem, which would make me feel less ugly pretty much, which is what have gotten me to turn to the gym. I started working out and I felt like I was really enjoying it. I was enjoying the process of developing yourself and developing your mental toughness through the process of working out, because that's really what truly happens when you go to the gym. You go there for the physical side of things, sure, but I feel like something else that you also cultivate as you lift those weights, as you go through a proper, intensive, optimal workout, is that you develop a certain muscle in your brain that just starts to give you so much confidence in yourself and starts to equip you with a certain train of thoughts that make you believe that, hey, I can handle everything in life, which also I think is what have kind of like gotten me out of that depressive phase after I've gotten that breakup, and also what have gotten me to fall in love with fitness, which have also made me think that, hey, I want to do this thing long term. I still don't know how, I still don't know which way or how I'm going to make it happen, but I want to make this thing happen. All right. And so I started to help out people. I started to help out some people around me. Like I was starting to like pretty much just like the bros, the other friends that want to work out and whom you would help and take to the gym, and like for whom you'll design a workout for them. I remember the first ever workout program that I've ever wrote down for someone. Looking back at the program, I know that that program was complete shit, but I was so proud of it. And after I wrote that program, I was sure that I was gonna become super rich. I was gonna become like a super successful fitness trainer, which again takes us back to what I said to you earlier about 11 years. As soon as I started, I thought that I was gonna succeed, that yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this, and after a year I will be somewhat successful. Came next year, I still wasn't successful, so I told myself, I was like, hey, I'm gonna keep working, and maybe after 1 year it's gonna happen. Came the next year, nothing still happened. So next year, we are now at the 11th year of my journey as an entrepreneur in the field of health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness. And despite the fact that I have achieved quite a little bit of stability, I'm still super far from where I really want to go. And so I guess something that everybody can start doing whenever it comes to setting goals and wishing to achieve a certain goal, whatever you think you're going to achieve in, let's say, 3-6 months-ish, just directly add 5 years to that. Just directly add 5 years to the time horizon within which you hope to achieve your goals, because very likely it is going to take that much time. If success, if growth personal development or any sort of business kind of like improvement was that easy and was that fast, then best believe everybody will be successful. But that's not what's going on. Like, it's, you know what they say, there's this whole thing of the top 1%. As for how only 1% of the world population have really made it, that means that those 1% of people are the ones who just have like kept eating shit. Even if they have reached a certain high level, they still kept looking for the next level, and they have embraced the long game some way. So I truly believe if you are, like on that way to accomplish anything, then expand your time horizon. And this is actually something that I teach my client within my coaching practice, because what I do full time obviously is inside my company, I help people lose weight, I help people rebuild their relationship with food, heal their metabolism, restore their hormonal profile, and becoming the CEO of their lifestyle while, navigating a very hectic life here in China, a life that might have gotten them to deteriorate a part of their health, okay? And so that's what I help people with. And something I always love to tell my client is, it's actually something that I've learned from, I think, Alex Hormozy, which is, do not overestimate what you can do over a short period of time, and instead start to look at the stuff that you can do over a longer period of time. All right, it's kind of something like that, like meaning that in anything that you want to achieve, in any goals that you set in your life, you need to start thinking long term. Do not think of the outcome of something that you do after 1 month, after 1 week, after 2 months. Start to think of the outcome of that thing after 10 months minimum, literally a bare minimum of 10 months, okay? And that mindset is actually going to allow you to take the L's, is going to allow you to practice more patience for whenever you will not be seeing tangible results, and it's also going to allow you to pretty much enjoy the process as a whole, okay? And so going back to how I first started. So again, I got heartbroken. I went into the gym and I started to feel like I loved this whole gym thing, and I was looking into getting professional with it, okay? And so on the side of my bachelor's in hotel management and restaurant, I was starting to apply for internship, and I was starting to do some internship out there, like back home in my home country in Madagascar. I was going for internship in some gyms, which obviously they knew that I did not have any experience. They knew that I did not know at all how the business worked. They knew that I was just this young, 18 years old, nobody who was kind of like trying to get some experience in the field, which have gotten most of my internship employers to exploit me. So I remember going to a gym, and it was supposed to be my shift, and those people will pretty much just make me stay there, sit inside the room and greet the members and do nothing else for an entire day, then go home. I was doing that for like 1 week, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, this is not going anywhere. So like, this is something that these are some of the experience that I had within my first months trying to become a fitness trainer and a fitness professional. I would have been able to kind of like put some clients through some workouts, but it was not necessarily, it was not that official. Like I was not actually allowed to do it. I was just kind of like giving them some tips and telling them, hey, go do this and then come back to me when you finish. Okay, go do this and come back to me when you finish again. Nothing official. But despite the negative experience, I still believed that I wanted to do this whole fitness thing. And so, long story short, I had to leave my home country. I came to China, and I remember the first thing that I thought when I first arrived here. I was like, I need to leave my handprint on this country. Like, I need to, during my stay here, be able to change at least 1 billion lives, which actually where the whole 1 billion people hashtag comes from. It comes from me being in that airplane and seeing the first sights of what I would think was the Beijing International Airport, the first sights of China. I told myself, I was like, I need to touch at least 1 billion lives here, because I was aware that China is like super populated. How many? 18 billions of people here last time I checked. I'm not sure, you can fact check me if you want. but I was like 1 billion people, 1 billion people. So like that's actually where the whole 1 billion people idea came from. And if you see my post, if you follow me anywhere on social media, then you would know that 1 billion people mission is a hashtag that I usually use. So that's actually where it came from. And so I came here for a master's, right? And I was like, I need to start building my brand. I need to start putting myself out there. So as I was going posting more frequently on WeChat and on Instagram as well, I was this young student, master student living at the dorm of Beijing University of Technology, who was very fanatic of fitness and who was sharing his workout and his tips and whatever was going on in his journey. That's pretty much how I would say my online presence have started. It was back in 2017 when I decided that social media was going to be my way forward. Because back then I think I've read Gary Vaynerchuk's book Crush It, which pretty much spoke about the importance of putting yourself out there and sharing your story and being unapologetic about the stuff that you do, the stuff that you love, and pretty much just letting the world know who you are, okay? Which is going to be the segue into the second lesson for today for you, is the fact of never keep your journey to yourself. Never keep your skills to yourself. Never keep your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your emotions to yourself. Mostly if you're someone who wants to grow, if you're someone who wants to be noticed, if you're someone who wants to become an influencer, if you are someone who wants to become an educator, you need to start putting yourself out there. Like, what I was doing back then when I first started posting on social media was I was not only posting about fitness and nutrition and health, I was also posting about how it was painful to me to be far away from my home country. I was posting about how I was really struggling to adjust to the life, but how I was also embracing the grind. I was posting about me trying to become a master's student and trying to work hard to make my parents proud, because that's what I was coming to China for. I was posting all of those areas of my life, and I wasn't aware of this back then, but funny enough, some people who used to follow me since 2017 still follow me today, and I would often receive comments from those people in which they would say, bro, I've been following you for such a long time and I feel like I know you so much, and it makes me trust you because you've always been very vulnerable, you've always been very real with your content, and so it's something that's very respectable. I love this to say that towards building a brand on social media, you build a brand, you are the brand, okay? I feel like that's that's the way in which I would put it. If you want to build, you don't need to build a brand, you just need to already acknowledge that you are the brand, and then you need to start making people understand what are all the things around which your brand evolve, okay? So that means, as for me personally, and mostly right now, the way my content works on social media now, if you follow me, is that obviously there's going to be a lot of things about health and nutrition, and there's also going to be a lot of things about my workout. There's also going to be a lot of things about random thoughts that I have about life, about personal growth. There's also going to be a lot of things about marketing, business, branding, and those kinds of things. And from time to time, I would be posting, like my personal life, my intimate life, I'll be posting my dog, I'll be posting those kinds of things. And I do all of that not because I like to put my life out there for the whole world to see, but because I just have understood that all these pieces of my life play a very important role into building trust between me and my audience. Because trust is, I would say, the main pillar of everything that you are going to build, of everything that you are going to provide people, of everything that you are going to try to sell. So if there is no trust between you and the people that you speak to online, then honestly, you're just going to become another Wikipedia or another ChatGPT that just spits out facts without even showcasing a certain personality, without even letting the whole world know who you are as a human being, without even letting the whole world know if they can trust you or not. Okay? And so going back to 2017, I started to post my journey out there. I started to pretty much really go hard in terms of sharing value and creating value. I was looking for ways to find clients. I remember, oh my goodness, I remember the first ever person that I trained. I think it was, I met that person through my brother because my brother is in China too. I think it was a colleague of my brother. Her name was Andrea. And I remember she came all the way to my dorm for me to train her, and she paid me 75 Chinese yuan for 1 hour workout. Can you imagine? Can you imagine 75 yuan? Firstly, I was so happy to be paid that much because that was pretty much the first time ever that I've gotten paid for my coaching services. And as I look at it today, because like today, obviously like about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 7 years later, today you would have to bank out at least 800 RMB to have any sort of interaction with me, minimum. But back then, I was so happy and so excited about being paid 7,500 just for me to do my thing, okay? And which is also where the third lesson is gonna come from. I think the first years of you trying to sell your service and trying to do things for yourself should never be about trying to earn money, but should be all about improving your skills, trying to let as many people as possible know what you do, building a network and building trust within your small community of people that you reach out to, and also building trust in yourself. Because imagine me getting started as a fitness trainer and not even having the experience, not even having all the certifications, and not even having the guts to pretty much do that work. Imagine if I already started to pay like 1,000 Chinese yuan or 2,000 Chinese yuan to people per one session. It would have been super pressuring. And if I had not given a product or some sort of service that was worth that money, which when I look back at it now, I was given a shitty kind of, it was not shitty, but the workouts that I was putting people through was a really basic workout. It was some YouTube types of workout. I didn't have any idea of how to like properly coach people, how to like touch them when what they do is wrong, how to even put together a plan that makes sense, how to even explain them the different workout phases that they should go through. I didn't even do that. I was like, hey, you're here, let's train. Not possible for me to charge 1,000 to 2,000 RMB for that. And so if you're just getting started in service providing, do not even think of charging, okay? We're gonna get into this very soon, but I really wouldn't think of charging. I really would just think of acquiring skills with what I share with people, with what I give to people. And I will also think of getting as much social proof as possible, all right? Because after that first personal training session, there was starting to be a little bit of noise around the dorm as for how, hey, Christian trains people. So I was starting to like get more people, and this time I was training them for free. Because like, if I had to choose between getting paid 75 Chinese yuan for 1 hour of training someone versus not being paid, then this was really my thought process. I was like, fuck the money. Let me just coach everybody for free. So I started to coach a bunch of students for free. But again, what I really focused on the most was to just refine my coaching process, to just get better every time, and to make sure that I was creating a result for those people. Because back then, again, reading Gary Vaynerchuk, I knew that I might not be getting paid now, but if I do a great job with that person, and if that person is really happy with the result that I give them, they are going to be speaking about me, which is exactly what worked back then. And also, I was always recording my workouts. And so again, me sharing my life on social media, sharing 70% of my fitness craft, I was sharing all these workouts. And I was already on social media, I was already kind of like creating and cultivating that image of the fitness trainer, which then have eventually led me to build a literally a workout community within the dorm of my university. This was a very fun time, by the way. I had put together, me and my cousin back then. We pretty much gathered a whole community of students who wanted to train, and so we would do workout sessions outdoor at the track field of my university. We would do workout session at the gym of my dorm. The gym would be like full of us. There would only be us in the gym, which would be really cool. And I was basically leading them. I was basically creating the workout. Everybody was always motivated to come. And it was a very good experience for me. And it was also, I could tell, a very key moment inside my life as an aspiring professional trainer, because as I kept doing these group workouts with students from the dorm, and as I kept posting those things, and as my network kept growing as a result of like pretty much just me interacting and becoming more acknowledged within my community, within the online community, as well as within the dorm, someone who later on ended up becoming one of my best friends. His name is Reggie. He's from Seychelles. He used to work at a gym called F45 Training, back then one of the fastest growing fitness franchise in the world. And so he came to me. I think I'm not exactly sure how the discussion went, but basically he saw that I was doing some form of group coaching, and I was like really putting myself out there. And I also spoke to him, I think, about wanting to become a coach. And then he was like, hey, you seem to be doing some interesting stuff. Would you be up for an opportunity to join us? And I was like, okay, this is cool. I remember I was on the phone with him, and I Googled right away, like F45 train. And I was like, what the fuck? This is a big thing. Like, imagine me going there. I was like super excited. I'll never forget how the conversation with him went. I was like, yeah, man, let's give it a try. Because he said you'll have to do some sort of internship, some sort of trial. And then we'll see if you're a good fit for the franchise. And I was like, yes, I'm game. Let's do this. And then I remember just laughing, and I was like, wow, this is crazy, man. And then he said, God is great. I will never forget that conversation I had for him, because that conversation basically was one of the greatest turning points in my life, because, hey, I was going to become professional. I was actually going to become an official fitness trainer, and for one of the biggest fitness franchises in the world. Who would have imagined that I would have, went through all of those bullcrap internships that I had back home, that I would have went through those kind of like small jobs that I was doing, like me doing my own online thing and putting myself out there and perfecting my craft, would have led to me being recognized by someone who already had experience in the space and pretty much want to recruit me to quite a big free fitness franchise. That was crazy, honestly, because which also is where imposter syndrome finally knocked at my door, because this is crazy. I was like, because like normally you just start low. It's like you just start somewhere not too famous, not too big. You start somewhere not too known first, but like me, like as soon as I started, it was like F45 training, and I was like, this is gonna be big. But like I was in that mindset already. I was like, hey, this is it. I'm not gonna fuck this up. So I definitely did not fuck it up. I gave F45 4 to 5 years of my life. I obviously later on, which I'll speak about, I ended up leaving because I ended up creating my own company. But I know for a fact from many members' comments and even from the coaching staff's comments that I was one of the most renowned and one of the most valuable coaches that they had out there. So I'm really happy to say that I left on a very good note. And so all of that because I gave myself a kick in the ass, and because every day I was willing to become better. Something that I've always paid attention to was to always learn something every day. Always trying to like find something new to try, something new to implement inside my coaching practice, which have helped tons. And so third, fourth lessons, I don't even know how many lessons we have so far, is that you also need to be consistent with your social media posting. You need to be consistent with your craft. You need to be consistent and always realistic and authentic with what you post and what you show to the world. If you learn something new, if you've acquired a new certification, post it on social media. If you I don't know, if you have trained someone and if you know that someone have seen a result from you, ask them to write that down and post that on social media. Whatever you do that you know can play a role in growing your brand and your influence and your reputation, post it out there. You might not always get reactions, but there are people who watch you. This is something I've learned early on. Some people might never say anything, but they always watch everything that you post. They always pay attention to you. They look at the pattern, they look at the journey, and then when the right time comes, they'll reach out to you. I've had many clients inside my online coaching company whom reach out to me today, and they would tell me, Christian, I have been following you for 2 years. Can you imagine 2 years? So that means that that person have seen like the most, I don't know, the most, because I know for a fact that my posts from 2 years ago from now were not the best one in terms of, like, I don't know, the light, the setup, the stuff that I used to say, the stuff that I used to teach. And yet some people have resonated with it. Those people will tell me, hey, I've been following you for 2 years. I really love what you do. I would like to see if there is a way to work together. And these kinds of people are the people who are not even going to negotiate your price. They're not even going to look for any way to deny your service, because they have already bought into you since a long time ago when they first saw you posting your stuff and growing as a person, as well as growing as a trainer, as a service provider consistently. Can you imagine, really, 2 years? It's kind of like you are with a person. It's kind of like me, for example, maybe going dating someone, and after 2 years, people ask me if I'll get married with her, and I'll say yes, for sure. And that would be simply because after 2 years being with the person, I would have already kind of understood and realized a bit like what kind of person that girl is and if she's the right one or not. So same thing goes with your audience. Somewhere there is someone who is watching you right now. I can guarantee you that one day they'll reach out to you and they'll tell you, hey, I've been following you for a long period of time. I really enjoy what you post. Can you tell me what would it take for me to work with you? These are the best kinds of customers that you could ever dream of, because they are pretty much customers as well as supporters as well as fans. And when you have someone like that working with you, they become the best person ever, because they cooperate, they respect you, they support your business by referring other people. They listen to what you teach. Mostly me in the field of coaching, they listen, they buy into everything that you teach, because again, that's just how long they've been looking at you and they've been slowly building that trust. So all of this to say, do never lose consistency with a social media post. If someone or if no one is giving you reaction today, then I'm pretty sure there are many people that are having impressions from what you post. And in due time, as we keep posting and building that momentum, that person will come to you, okay? And so